Hello.
Hello, Rick.
Well, hello, Ralph. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Are you ready for this?
Well, anytime you are, mash the start button.
Is your heart beating a little fast? Mine is a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah,
No? No? Uh,
I always get a little bit of a butterfly before I step in front of a crowd.
okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to give you a proper introduction first, so hang on there for just a minute, okay?
Sure.
Welcome to a special presentation of Boomer Power, an interview with the former Republican Party county chairman from the home county of the late Senator Lindsey Graham. I'll end the interview with a Boomer Power question that I hope gets asked in debates around the country. And I haven't told Rick what that question is. So you'll want to stay tuned for, or maybe fast forward to that part of the interview, your choice. Rick Tate and I knew Lindsey Graham when he was just a young pup, elected to Congress in 1994 in a Republican sweep led by Newt Gingrich and his contract with America after Bill Clinton and his all Democrat Congress passed a big tax increase that took the top marginal rate to 39.6%, I think. I started my talk show career on WORD AM in Greenville, South Carolina, 2 years later in 1996. 1 year after that, Graham became the youngest member of several members of Congress who launched a failed coup against Gingrich for cooperating too much with then President Bill Clinton. Rick was a regular caller to my show, and I met him and his then 3-year-old daughter, Tila, sitting on his shoulders at a downtown Greenville event when I was manning a booth and doing a live show. Rick is from Pickens County, Senator Graham's home county. He was fairly recently, Rick was, not Senator Graham, Republican county chairman of Pickens County. And I think he ran for state representative once upon a time, too. Needless to say, his ear is pretty close to the ground when it comes to South Carolina politics. Republicans very soon will be choosing the person to replace Graham on the general election ballot. Graham had already won his primary election, so this will be a special election held on August 11th with a runoff on August 25th if necessary. I asked Rick if I could pick his brain about the names mentioned as possible replacements and maybe share a few thoughts about Senator Graham, since we knew him when, didn't we, Rick?
It absolutely did. Lindsey came in as a very conservative firebrand. I remember him and Jim DeMint both being on your show and both being very conservative when he initially went into Congress.
And then he became the compromiser. He became part of the gang of 7, the gang of 8, whatever gang there was, to try to take on a really tough question and try to reach a compromise on it.
I believe the first time that happened was the Gang of 14 when Samuel Alito was up for nomination, and he was able to he helped put the Gang of 14 together and stop the filibuster against Alito and help get him on the court.
But he was also part of the Gang of 7 that tried to reach a compromise on illegal immigration, an issue that avoids us still.
Oh, absolutely. That was when Rush Limbaugh, I believe, gave him the nickname of Gramnesty. Lindsey's had a roller coaster ride in the Republican Party in South Carolina. I will not speak ill of the dead. And I don't want to give a false impression. Lindsey and I were more like business friends, business acquaintances.
Yeah.
We were at political events together and talked politics together. And when I was the chairman, I hosted town halls that he came to. And I'm now the chairman of the Pickens County Republican Club. I still do the town halls.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, your ear is pretty close to the ground. So, you mind if I pick your brain a little bit on some of the names that I've heard mentioned?
Go right ahead.
All right. Nancy Mace. We all know her. My guess is she couldn't get very far in this special election.
No, I don't think so either. She didn't do really well. She just ran in the Republican primary to be the next governor in South Carolina, and she made a respectable showing, but she wasn't close to winning the prize.
Yeah. Now, I don't know Mark Lynch. I didn't follow the Republican primary that Senator Graham just recently won. His opponent, Mark Lynch, apparently is going to run again, and he's pledging $5 million to his campaign.
Well, I'm going to take off my party hat and put on my citizen cap here. I can't, me personally, he'll probably do okay, depending on who else gets in and how serious they are. But he is part of there's I don't know about in Tennessee, but here there's a pretty good little split between what I consider the Reagan conservatives in this new MAGA bunch, and he's in the MAGA bunch, and well, Trump branded him a lunatic. Even Trump did. So,
wow.
With that branding from Trump, I don't see him going very far. In the primary against Lindsey, he branded him a lunatic. Trump did.
Okay. So he was too MAGA for Trump?
Too something for Trump.
Okay.
Well, he's had I'll give you an example.
Well, Trump and Lindsey were pretty close friends, which was
absolutely.
Another interesting thing about Lindsey Graham is that he could hate you one day and love you the next day, sort of like Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lindsey was very funny. He would disarm you with his humor. But to just give you one little slice of Lynch, he did at the beginning of the campaign to be the next senator in South Carolina, a Republican primary campaign. He was at an event in Charleston, and he was fielding questions, and he was asked about the drug laws, and he didn't know what the drug laws were. He was like, "Isn't cocaine legal? Isn't pot legal here now?" That kind of stuff. I can't remember the exact quote. And when he got called on it, and the video started going out and it was embarrassing to him, he tried to claim it was a deep fake. Okay. The only problem was there were people in the room with their phones recording what he said.
Yeah.
So
so we can.
That's why I can't take him seriously.
So Nancy and Mark are not serious candidates, or shouldn't be serious candidates. Right. I don't know Representative Russell Fry either, but apparently his name comes up.
I don't know him either, but the news in the street, as they would say, is pretty good on him as far as being a good, reliable conservative. People like him. The only problem there is the majority is so close in the House. Most of the House reps are being asked to stay in the House. We need you in the House. We need you to keep our slim majority in the House of Representatives. It's so close, every vote is going to count, just like it does now.
I didn't realize South Carolina had turned that purple.
Well, they don't want to take a chance. This is the first time, and I don't know how long, a long time since you were here.
Yeah. That
there is a Democrat on the ballot in every race in the state, pretty much. They went all out, and even here in Pickens County, the reddest county in the nation, I'm told.
Do you know why that is? What's
they're making it? The South Carolina Democratic Party is making a concerted effort to make sure they've got people running in all the races, that they've got a voice out there. Yeah. So,
okay. Now, for some reason, Ralph Norman's name sounds familiar. It seems like I remember him from my time. Does he go back that far?
He does indeed. He was one of the most, at times, he was the most physical conservative in the State House. And he is that way in Congress now. Him and Trump have locked horns because he tries to do what you preach with the boomer videos. Mm-hmm. He's a budget hawk.
Okay.
He's a true conservative. And he just ran for governor, very respectable showing as governor, in the primary here, in June. And, word is he's going to announce pretty soon, and me personally, I think he'll be the front runner. Well, they just did the first poll, just came out with everybody that might get in. Emerson College did one, and he came out on top at 16 point something percent out of about 8 or 9 people, with 17% undecided, but he came out on top.
Let's do one more and then talk about a couple who are not running. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette has the endorsement of Governor McMaster, and she was previously endorsed by Trump in her bid for governor.
True, but the endorsement for Trump ended up blowing back on her because it looked like backroom deal. The initial announcement was that Governor McMaster his son was going to be her lieutenant governor, and it backfired on her. And then when the polling came out just before the primary, that South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson was going to win in a landslide, Trump, he didn't renege on his endorsement of Pamela, but he co-endorsed the two of them. So, and it was kind of funny, really. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to endorse Alan too. He's a great guy." So,
okay, all right. So we have Ralph Norman as the front runner then.
Right, and in that poll I mentioned, she came in about fifth at about 6%. I think, if I'm memory serves.
Wow. So. Okay. Nikki Haley is not running.
No, and I sent text messages to friends of mine that I thought she would be the next senator. If she had got in, I think she would have won. She's got the organization, the money, the name, she had everything you need. She checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people here don't like her, or for different reasons. She didn't turn out to be as conservative. But anyway, I'm not going to bash Nikki. I think she would have won if she'd got in.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like anybody. And
yeah, right.
I'm a little surprised that Henry McMaster doesn't want the job.
He's 78. That might be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. Wasn't he the Republican Party chairman at the same time Dick Hart-Pootlian was? Didn't they lock horns back in 1996 when I was there?
He was indeed. He was the chairman, and then it was Chan. Oh, anyway, I won't give you that.
But that's when politics was fun. Those guys were hilarious together.
Oh, they were. But I think the age is the issue with him, and I think that could be the. I haven't heard anybody bring it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody brings up Ralph Norman's age. He's a little over 70, but he seems physically fit and alert and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Are you ready for my boomer power question?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Whomever is elected to this 6-year term in the Senate is not going to be able to escape the hardest decision that Congress will ever have to make in your lifetime and mine. Will any of these candidates let us know in advance what they think should be done with the impending insolvency of the Social Security Trust Fund, which the principal of which would drop from $2.34 trillion at the end of 2025 to zero in 2032, when this year's elected senators' first term, a lot of them, first term will end. And there are 35 senators that are going to be elected this year. Social Security will truly become that fearful third rail of politics no later than 2032. And members of Congress will simply not be able to avoid touching it. The only question is, where will they touch it? And will any candidate offer an opinion on that? Will any of them be asked in a debate?
Well, I can't put words in someone's mouth, but to hazard a guess, I would say out of the crowd, Ralph Norman is the one person who would give you I'll put it like this. I think he would be the one person that would give us an answer that me and you would like. Put it like that.
There is no answer that I would like, because somebody's going to get screwed.
Well, yeah, somebody is. Well, I'll put it like this. I think he has a track record of being responsible with the taxpayers' money, and deficit spending he has no use for it. And he's the only person I know of in this race coming up that's even talked about that kind of
thing. I wonder how deeply he's thought about it, because the more you think about it, the tougher it gets.
Yeah,
the more you know about it, the tougher it gets.
Absolutely. And me and you have been talking about this forever, and I remember,
and if they had taken our advice back then, it would be solved by now, but they didn't. And now that won't work.
They wouldn't even listen to. I mean, George W. Bush at least tried to do something.
Yeah,
he tried.
9/11 got in his way.
Absolutely. But honestly, I think Ralph Norman is the only person that would tackle that head on, and not have to be made to and backed into a corner. I think he would, based on what I know about him, I think he would welcome the opportunity to talk about it. Now, how deeply he's thought about it, and what I'm telling you is all speculation on my part, just based on his track record in the State House here in South Carolina. And if you go back and look at the debates over the budget that Trump has had and the 2 or 3 that held out that didn't want to spend all that money, he was one of them. Trump doesn't like the guy because he won't go along with the spending just haphazardly. He won't. He's a holdout.
Well, Trump doesn't like him, and he is the leading candidate to be the next U.S. Senator from South Carolina to replace Trump's best friend in the Senate. That's interesting.
Well, he doesn't like that. They've had differences of opinion, put it like this, on the budget. And he has been, like when they're trying to get a budget passed and there's like 2 or 3 really conservative guys that don't want to do the deficit spending. He's been one of those people.
Okay. Well, and that's how I remember him from Congress, but it seemed to me like I remembered him from a long time ago, too. His name didn't just sound familiar from his fights in Congress recently, but from, I don't remember from what, back in 1996.
When we get off here, I'm going to look up what year he first got elected to the South Carolina State House, but he's been around a while.
Yeah. Okay. Rick, this has been fun. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Ralph. Anytime. It's been a while. Well, let's not make it so long till the next time.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
You too.
All right. Now, those of you watching me saw me turn my phone around a couple of times. I hope that doesn't do too much to the audio. I was forgetting which end of the phone the audio came from. I had it right the first time, which is why I turned it back. The way I'm doing this is I'm just putting Rick's picture. You saw Rick's picture up here. And I put a little lavalier mic right down here in front of the speakerphone of the phone. So, and it picks me up almost as good as it picks the phone up, although I think the phone will probably be a little bit louder than me. I've tried this with somebody that I know very well and I'm familiar with to see if it works. Because if it works, and it works pretty well, I might try this as an interview technique for other guests as well sometime in the future. So thanks for watching this special presentation of Boomer Power.